Oh, did I tell you I bought a receiver?
For
No, like a receiver, like an AV receiver. You know, you plug your components into it.
oh, okay. Okay.
You know, for AV stuff.
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't cheap.
How much was it?
Take a guess.
200.
Higher,
400?
lower, 350.
Damn.
Yep, normally 600.
Oh, hey, you got it for almost half price.
Yep,
Where'd you get a new egg or?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Pioneer VSX 1123.
Ooh.
7 HDMI ports on the back.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Especially since my television only has 2 HDMI ports.
You know, actually, I'm really surprised that most like HD TVs these days or monitors only have like two or even one HDMI port. So you think they'd have more?
Mm, no, not really. I mean,
Well, think about. Oh, okay. Well, think about it. I mean, maybe not all of them need to, but I mean, if you usually have an HD TV, let's say 40 inches or higher, chances are you're gonna have, someone will have something like a PS3 or PS4, and then maybe also has a Wii U, and then maybe also has an Xbox One, or I don't know, something like that, and
you know how rare that case would have to be?
families.
Dude, the fact that, I mean, I have a PS4 and a Wii U is fairly rare. Most people only have one console. So, and most people who buy HD televisions, they don't even have consoles. They have a Blu-ray player and they have cable. That's about it. So two is more than enough for most people. If you honestly have like a PS4 and Xbox One, Wii U, need more than probably two or three HDMI ports. You probably also like having high quality sound and video. So you most likely have already bought a receiver. So I really don't, as far as televisions go, I don't really think you need more than probably two or three HDMI ports on a television.
Nah, just my 2 cents.
You really don't. You're better off getting a receiver of some sort because then you can have your 5.1 surround or higher, 7 point whatever, or the 3D surround they're trying to do now, where the speaker you have your flat set of speakers, like your 5 or your 7 on the that are like level with your head, and then you have ones above you like on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So you have so it kind of so say for example someone's falling in a movie or something,
Right.
you can hear it falling.
Whoa, talk about immersion.
Yeah. So now I have to go buy a subwoofer. See, I already have two speakers, but the problem is they're two back speakers,
Mm-hmm.
so they're kind of quiet. Because right now I just have two speakers and that's it. So they're kind of quiet for front. So I have to go buy a pair of. So I have to buy a center channel, two front floor standing, and a subwoofer.
Hey,
Guess
my
how much a pair of two front, floor standing speakers cost? Just decent set.
Well, if they're anything like the ones out here, because my friend's been looking at getting that some pretty good speakers, I'm gonna guess around 3 to 400.
Per for both.
I'm gonna say both on that one.
Nope. 600's cheap.
Six
That's for the
hundred's
cheap
cheap.
end.
Damn.
Like you're talking like 1,000 to like 5,000 for a solid pair. That's just for two speakers.
And the one thing that I have to ask though is you don't even have. Are you still doing this on your 40-inch TV?
Yeah,
I thought you wanted something bigger than that.
I do, but I really want to build out a sound system before anything else. I can live with 720p on a television. Most video games don't go beyond that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about the quality. I was just because you're always about, oh man, you gotta get at least a 55-inch TV or something like that.
If I was gonna buy another television, yeah, but I want to build out a sound. I want to get at least a surround sound system going before I get a bigger television.
Kind of like what's in your living room.
No, we got a new television in there too. 65 inch.
Nice.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It is good. It's good.
And
Mm,
let me guess, you want to take that television, put it into where you play video games and everything.
it's too small. I gotta get an 80. 80-inch flat panel LCD LED television. Mm, mm, mm.
And how much will that run you?
Well, since I have to get the 4K version, probably about 5 to 10 grand or something. I don't know.
Oh
Super
God, the
expensive.
4K version.
Hey man, technology pipeline. Gotta keep them coming.
Well, 4K is becoming more and more cheap, so.
Yeah, dude, they had a 4K Samsung like 27. Oh no, sorry, 500 at Best Buy.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
That's dirt cheap. Shit. Just a year ago, it was probably like two thousand
I'm
dollars.
about to say, yeah, around 2,000 maybe. So,
So I mean, it's good. Honestly, at this point, the price is going faster than the technology. I mean, we're just now getting HDMI 2, which is finally gonna have enough bandwidth for 60 frames,
yeah.
uh, at 4K resolution.
Speaking of 4K, did you hear about the new Macs and their 5K display?
Yeah, the iMac. Did I tell you how much it cost?
No, I
Take a
think
guess.
I think it's around 3,000
2,500.
for the base system, right?
Um, well, base with the 5K screen, yeah.
Right.
But that system, I mean, it's probably not nothing too special, but I don't think it's like a piece of shit gutless.
Well, I think anything with 5K resolution, I just can't even picture that. I mean,
Well, actually, there's a picture on their site. See if I can find it.
no, I'm talking about physically having it in front of me though. Like,
Well, go to
it,
this link. This is a 5K resolution picture. This will put into perspective what 5K looks like. So the 2,500 dollar Mac iMac has a 3.5 gigahertz quad core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and a terabyte hard drive with a AMD R9 290X mobile.
well, it's a pretty big
So
picture. It's pretty nice.
that's actually dirt cheap for what you get, which is scary to think about with a Mac.
Dirt cheap and Mac in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice picture, but obviously I'm gonna guess on the 5K, it's just gonna be one solid picture, and you don't have to scroll around
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
that would be that take up the whole screen.
Right.
That's 27 inches. Crazy, huh?
Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
I wish this was just the screen. Like it's like $1,000 for just the screen. Am I gonna be using the 4K as in how Apple has it set, where it's scaled to a set quote unquote resolution? So like on your MacBook, like the Retina display, you don't get the full pixel 1-to-1 pixels. It's like 2-to-1 or 3-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
So it's scaled. Or do I get 1-to-1 pixels with that 4K screen? Because if it's 1-to-1, that could be useful. Because I can just stuff more stuff on the screen at once. But
I
if
was
it's
gonna, I was gonna,
scaled,
I was gonna say 1-to-1.
1-to-1, as long as it's like a 27-inch or 32-inch, yeah, I could use that. Definitely be great for my IDEs, programming. So got more real estate out of it. That much for sure.
Well, we'll have to see when 5K starts taking off, since, I mean, that would explain, I guess, why 4K is quote-unquote cheap now.
No, I think it's pretty much gonna be a one-off. I don't really. Mm-mm. I think it's just kind of, I don't know. I it's probably gonna be like 2560 by 1440 is to 1080p. It's bigger than 1080p, but it's not really gonna be used for much.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're never gonna see like 5K video. It's gonna be 4K or 8K.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, this is the idea behind the 5K is what at least what I'm thinking they're trying to go with is like Final Cut, like their video editing.
Right.
You can have you can fully render the 4K video while having enough screen real estate left over for like your menus and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So that might be of some use to people. I
Uh,
guess if we're on Apple news, new iPads came out more. It's kind of like a same shit different day with them. I don't understand how this happened. The iMac, you get a 5K resolution, computer that is not that expensive for what you're getting out of it.
mhm.
That's not a bad price. Whereas these iPads are super expensive, and I don't get anywhere near as cool stuff out of it. So what the hell's the deal, Apple?
Yeah,
Get on.
I'm literally on their website right now, and if you go with I, personally, well, and here's nothing that confuses me. Why in the world? So like on their iPad Air 2,
Mm-hmm.
you have the 16 gigabyte version, the 64 gigabyte, and the 128 gigabyte one.
Okay.
Why in the world would anyone want the 16 gigabyte version?
Couldn't tell you.
I
That's
mean,
too
I mean, I
damn
know, I
small.
mean, I know people are not putting, huge programs on these things or, all this, but just simply putting music and downloading apps, that 16 gigabytes goes away like that.
Yeah, that's nowhere near enough.
So my question is, why not make 32 gigabytes the cheapest one, where the 16 gigabyte one is, and then because that would probably allow people to, or not allow people, would make an incentive for people to actually buy it, because I know a lot of people, if they want to get something like this, they're going to want it with a decent hard drive space.
Yeah.
So
Well, all right. So I'm on Apple's side. I'm looking at the buy now.
hmm
The 16 gig starts. This is the base model, right?
right,
500.
yeah, it's 499, right, basically 500,
I don't get it.
and then it's an extra 100 to bump up to 64 gigabytes if I remember correctly.
It is, yeah. It's 100 from. It's a base 100 each time, and then
Right.
it's like another like what is that? 120 for if you want cellular.
I
It's a
I
freaking
just clicked on the
racket.
I just clicked on the Wi-Fi version. I didn't click on the
Yeah, it's a freaking racket.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you do not. It does not cost. The materials do not cost that much.
Oh no,
They just simply don't.
no.
It seems like Apple's gone away from having their essentially their x86 computers. They're all reasonably priced. I can't speak tonight. They they aren't overpriced anymore. That used to be a huge, at least for me, that used to be a huge sticking point with Apple, like MacBooks and stuff. Overpriced. Now I actually feel like they're good prices now. Like the Retina displayed MacBooks, you really aren't going to get something close like something like that on Windows without paying about the same. So I'm fine with that. iPads, not at all fine with that. I can get a Nexus 9, which I'll get back to this a bit later, but it's practically an iPad. Same form factor and everything. 300, 350 compared
Yeah.
to 600.
Yep.
So what's the deal? Well, I can tell you what the deal is. The market allows it. People will pay that much money for an iPad.
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh no, no. Did they ever refresh the iPods? Or is it still
No, no. They
just the
only
touch?
have it's just the touch. Last I checked,
Oh no, they got rid of the classic.
that happened like last year. I told you that
Oh
already.
no, that's like the best iPod. I still have my classic. It was such a good MP3 player.
Yeah, all they've got is the iPod Shuffle, the iPod Nano, and the iPod Touch.
That's disgusting. They'll keep the shuffle but not the classic?
I don't
Gross.
know anyone who has the Shuffle.
I don't know anyone either. The shuffles suck.
Not
Why
to
would you
mention,
want an MP3 player without a screen?
I don't know, and not to mention the space is probably pathetic.
It has... Well, it's $50. So
Right.
that's kind of cheap. I can pay $50 for how much space?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to
They don't
find.
even want to tell you.
Yeah, it's not. Oh,
Two
here,
gigs.
2 gigabytes. 2 gigabytes. That
Hmm.
is pathetic.
How many songs is that?
Maybe 3 albums, if that.
No, what's more than that? It's all the whole Mastodon discography. That is 688. Let's add in the Halo soundtracks.
There we go.
There's Marty O'Donnell's right there. And oh, whoops, didn't get all my sons too. Still, I mean that's like probably 10 albums. Yeah, so all three Halo soundtracks and what the 4 or 5 um, Mastodon CDs. Add in Mars Volta's Francis the Mute and Deloused in the Comatorium brings me up to 1.3. Yeah, you could probably get, if you're just picking and choosing, you could probably get that down. But for the record, at like my quote-unquote car pod, that's what I named my playlist for when I listen to in the car,
Hmm.
that is 8 gigs. It's 1,000 songs.
Yep. That would fill up half of the iPod Nano.
How much is that? 16, 8
16,
gigs?
16 gigabytes
16?
for
Oh,
150
I guess, yeah,
bucks.
I did say 8, you said half. Um, yeah, that's not enough. So what I don't understand about these is who's the market for them?
The iPad
What's this?
shuffles?
The iPod Shuffle, the Nano, and maybe the iPod Touch. That one's a bit more debatable. Because, and we're talking, it would not surprise me if we start seeing junior high kids with smartphones. They have their little iPhones, they have their Android phones. That's the thing
I've
now.
I saw some junior high kids with smartphones and such a couple years ago.
There you go then. So then who's the market for this? Because those smartphones can do everything these iPods can do and more for cheap.
I have no idea.
So who's buying these iPod Shuffles, Nanos, and Touches to still make it worth Apple's time to keep them on the to keep selling them?
Well, if they still have the supplies, they're probably going to keep selling them. But
Oh
notice that
yeah,
they're
no,
not.
I mean yeah. If that's the case, that's fine. If they're just trying to clear stock out, I mean that works for me.
Hmm.
But the iPod Classic, I'm still trying to make a point for the iPod Classic. That actually has a use. We're just now getting into devices with 120, 28 gigabytes of storage space. The iPod Classic before it got discontinued was at 160. So, I mean, make it that what you will. That did have a purpose still.
No, I totally agree with that.
You're
But
someone like me who just likes to have their whole music library with them at all times. It
yeah,
has a purpose.
right. No, exactly. But
So
they stopped
why'd they get
making
rid
them.
of it?
Maybe because it
Quit
wasn't.
making those, but they'll keep making the crappier iPods.
I don't know because someone complained enough that hey, this doesn't have touchscreen. Our viewers like touchscreens, or our viewers prefer this, or they want this, or who knows.
All right, let me put it this way. As far as I know, no one is making hard drive MP3 players anymore. Apple was the last one.
Yeah, I think so.
That royally bums me out. I like my iPod Classics.
Well, make sure you don't break it then.
Well, I can't do that. They're just getting old. Well, the flip side of the coin, Google announced a lot of stuff for Android.
Oh, the 5.0.
Yeah, Lollipop got announced officially. I don't like it. Looks like iOS 8. It's kind of ugly.
Do you think it will sell well, or it will do well at least?
Well, Android versions don't do well. They just come out and eventually they go onto phones. It's just kind of how it works on Android. You get a new phone, you get a new version of Android pretty much. Like my phone, I'm gonna get it probably before the end of the year. It's a relatively recent Android phone. But yeah, I just don't like it. I mean, there's some cool features and all, but the aesthetics of it just leave a lot to be desired. I mean, it's not as like. So I'll put it this way: iOS 8 is like a clown just drank a bunch of Slurpees and Pixie sticks and just
Oh, talk about a sugar
vomited
high.
everywhere.
Talk about a sugar high.
Yeah, just vomited everywhere, just all over the place. That's iOS 8, just colors everywhere. It's just disgustingly colorful, if you will.
Don't you mean iOS 7? 8 basically just quote unquote improved what 7 did.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Oh, yeah, 7, that's what I meant, sorry. I thought, I was thinking 8 because that was the one that came out. But yeah, 7 was the big design change.
Right.
Uh, Android 5 is like they attempted to clean up that all that colorful vomit, but some of it really stained really bad. It's a little more muted. It's a little less intensely colorful, but it's still ridiculously colorful. Like if you compare like Android 4.0 to 5.0, like 4.0 was super sleek. It was awesome. It was black with like blue highlights. It was freaking good to look at. I mean, it was a sleek, awesome looking design.
Right.
Android 5 just threw it out the window. Just said, screw it, we're done with this. We're done with this awesomeness. We want something stupid and lame. So that's what they did. They made the material design language. And I don't like it. So it's going to bother me every time I turn my phone on.
Well then, oh hold on, just don't download it then.
Well, there's features I want, though. I mean, I don't like having old features. I like security updates and things of that nature. I want to keep it updated. So it's not. I'm hoping I can get around a lot of the really gross stuff. I'm hoping.
Hmm.
Wishful thinking. So, yeah, Android 5.0 was announced, along with the two new Nexus devices, the Nexus 6 and the Nexus 9.
I heard about the 6. I didn't hear about the 9, but I'm gonna.
So we'll start with the 6 just because, man, that's the phone part. So Nexus 6 is Nexus 6 is a 6-inch screen. It's about the size of an iPhone 6, I think, 6 Plus.
Okay.
So it's a big old giant phone. It's actually, I think, bigger than the Samsung Note
Really?
4. Yeah. It's a big phone. Really, really big phone. It's a phablet.
It's a phablet.
Yeah, it's a phablet. I guess people like it, but in the past, Nexus devices tended to be cheaper. It's like off contract, they're like $300.
Hmm.
Like you're meant to buy them off contract.
Right.
Guess how much this one costs?
I'm gonna say 300.
Nope.
4?
Nope.
5?
Nope.
6?
Yep.
Wow, so I mean that's more expensive than the base iPad Air 2.
Well, we'll put it this way. It's the same price as just about every other smartphone. So, an iPhone, my phone, any other phone, pretty much, modern, high-end phone, costs that much. So what Google appears to be doing is just saying, hey, we concede. Carriers subsidize our phone. So now it's going to be in the same league as, like, say, an HTC One or a Samsung Galaxy S5? Yeah, we're still on 5.
S5.
And with that, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it really can compete. I mean,
Well, see, the thing with that is only time will tell, unfortunately. So,
well, the Nexus devices weren't super popular to begin with. They were never meant to be popular phones. They were meant to be, showing off what Android could really do. And so I guess Google's like, hey, let's take it to the next level. Let's really make it boutique-y. I mean, it's really like I don't know who would want to buy this phone. Like we're at the point where I mean I don't know. I'm just talking my ass here. I don't know who it's for. I think Google screwed that up. So you're gonna notice a pattern here when I talk about the Nexus 9 too. So yeah, I'm not really too. I was hoping for something on the order of the Nexus 5 in terms of about $300 off contract, solid good phone. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get it. So I'm kind of glad I didn't wait for the Nexus 6. So on to the Nexus 9. So as you can probably guess, 9 means the screen size, so it's a 9-inch screen. Well, before the Nexus 7, because there's two Nexus 7s. There's this Nexus 7 2012, and then there was the one at the year after. It's just Nexus 7 2013, which is I got the 2013 one, and that's a widescreen. The Nexus 9 has pretty much the same screen aspect ratio as an iPad. It is shaped like an iPad, but it doesn't cost as much as an iPad. How much was that iPad Air?
The iPad Air or iPad Air 2?
The new one, the 3 or 2.
2. It's for the base one. It's $499, I believe.
Okay, so the 16 gig Nexus 9, 400.
So $100 less.
So, but for the 32 gig,
Mm-hmm.
$479.
It's not bad.
It's $30 less than the base iPad Air. Who is this? Brings me to my same point I had with the Nexus 6. Who does Google think they are? I don't know why they think they can charging Apple level prices. That's not going to fly.
It
And
won't.
I
No,
hope
it won't.
yeah, I hope that they're ready to kind of eat the stock on this. I do not think these things are going to sell well.